engineer turned MBA turned former civil service officer turned politician, and currently the state president of the BJP in the state of Tamil Nadu. I am Srinivas. I am a professor of international business and entrepreneurship here at the University of Glasgow, Adams. It's wonderful to see a good mix of students, faculty, and the local Indian community join us for this event live, and many more of us joining us online over Zoom. Welcome all to the University of Glasgow. Anna, wonderful to host you at the University of Glasgow. It's been about 2 months that you've been in the UK. How's the journey been for 2 months?
Professor, thank you so much for having me in the University of Glasgow. Important institution, 600 odd years, and you walk around, you see all the great people, and in fact, we're sitting in an institution that is named after the great Adam Smith, and it was revolutionized the way people look at economics. So very grateful that I've come here. I'm also grateful to be one of the students and professors who turn up. And I've come to UK for the last 2 months, pursuing a fellowship in the University of Oxford. It's a very Google program for leadership excellence. So it's been a good journey. It's an opportunity for you to stay in a country, look at their culture very closely, travel, growth, and meet people. So I've learned so much. Especially UK as a country, Scotland, Ireland, northern part of the Ireland, Wales, England. So very, very different, very subtle differences in terms of the cultural values, very subtle differences in terms of how people look at you and what you learn from them. So overall, it's a good journey for me. And Glasgow was something I could come last time. I came all the way to Edinburgh. I'm very happy that I'm able to keep Glasgow as well.
Thank you. Wonderful to have done a checkbox on your travel list that way. And being a fireside chat, we are going to have this chat the same way as we were talking off stage, which is why I'm continuing to refer to him as Anna. I was born in the state of Tamil Nadu as well, and in that part of the world, you refer to an elder brother as Anna, and that's the reference to this. Right? So if you are not having the background to why I'm calling him that way, that's the background to why I'm referring to him that way. I think it's wonderful that you have this opportunity for about 2 months now to take a break from the day-to-day running of a political party and reflect on the journey in some way. In classes also, we get the students to do a project and do a self-reflection, diary of sorts. So in a way, you have sort of gone through that journey for about a couple of months. What's been your key reflection, both in terms of learnings we are going to take back to practice, as well as any insights that you have from the Indian experience for what we might implement, improve in the UK setting?
UK, especially London, is the seat of world politics. You get an amalgamation of cultures, people from every single part of the world have come here and made their home. Staying here for a long time, it gives you a unique perspective into how humans think, and also the technology capital. You can understand what is happening probably 10, 20 years from now, where the world is going. So it is very good for me to sit in Oxford, also travel outside to see the patent filing that is happening, the kind of discussion that is happening in a classroom, and especially in the university city. One day you go to one school of sciences, you get to see 50 years from now the kind of problems they are addressing, and you get into some very interesting lectures. You sit with great amazing professors like you, and some wonderful students who are at their DPhil, probably in the masters, and it's very good, very enjoyable to listen to all these people. That is number one learning for me, because normally when you're in a profession for a long time, and that is a very stressful profession, your mind shuts down, and you're not in a position to learn so much. So now it's like you're a child, you're like a student, you roam around everywhere and pick up what you want. And second is with respect to world politics, and especially we are looking at a country like UK, for all the great things that I've said about UK, but also the prime ministers have just got changed so many times, and a lot of churning happening in the political system. And a new government has come to power, probably first 100 days struggle and just getting a hold of what is happening. And every single issue is getting debated. Probably the tax rise, probably who will pay the insurance. So that is very good to see a democracy association. And third, I would say, is more about learning for me and what we are doing now and what we intend to do, especially in the state of Tamil Nadu, where we want to go. And you get to meet professors. So, for example, just like UK is having problems on intelligence migration, people of different faith. And just the politicians are trying to find a way, the society is trying to pay to amalgamate and take everybody along. So you policy also. You have just seen a major riot in September, which is unlike what happens in London now. London is already in the good news of the world. You don't see bad news happening in London. So the city is trying to find its way to amalgamate, take all everybody along. So just look at the students here. India has become the number one country where the students come to UK. We are number one for the last 2 years now. So lakhs of students come in, and it's an opportunity for me to talk to them and understand their perspective and what is their motivation, what is their interest. Because they are our ambassadors of the country, and they have a lot of dreams. Studying in different parts of UK, and then eventually coming back to India at some point in time. And you talking to them, you get an idea of the future of it. And we are 8,000 students per year is not an ordinary number, it's a big number. And that is fascinating for me. Learning from Indian students here and kind of dreams they have, and the kind of politics they want to see back home, and how we can fulfill their dreams once they come back. So it's an amalgamation of good, bad, and the ugly, but more good, less bad, and less ugly.
Fantastic. Yes, that's really interesting. And we are sitting at a place which is sort of like the cradle where modern capitalism began with Adam Smith and Wealth of Nations. I mean, it's sort of so appropriate that you got gifted an Adam Smith Wealth of Nations book just 10 minutes ago. And we come from the land of India, which is the land of Arthashastra, which loosely translates into science wealth or wealth of science. So what we see here in today's discussion is sort of the confluence of Arthashastra and Artharashtra, which is wealth of nations. So it's apt that we are talking about India at 100, especially the entrepreneurship dynamics around it at the intersection of these two confluences. In that backdrop, journey in the last 10 years or so, what we are seeing is it's now the third largest startup ecosystem, third highest number of unicorns. You have been a very close ringside view of what's happened, especially in the last 10 odd years. What's been your evaluation, reflection on what's going on in the policy landscape around supporting business, entrepreneurship, and development around it?
Professor, it's a very interesting question you asked me. I always believe the land in which we are sitting now, came out of a great man and such a great person who was able to define a new era of economics and thereby its labor productivity, probably manufacturing process, everything he brought in. Just based economic theory. The reason I'm trying to say this is people like them, they unlock people's energy. So UK is a country where long time back, people's energy got unlocked. And you're talking of full use of industrial revolution, you're talking of before that full use of enlightenment, scientific discovery. Small country in terms of population size, almost one point of time at 70% of the world under the control of 75 times in India. Probably American says that it's not nice that we were colonized, but talking from the UK perspective, such a small country, they mastered ship, they mastered high seas, they're able to travel across the world, they're able to master the choke points, right of Gibraltar to Suez Canal, everybody, they're able to master all these strategic choke points, such a small country. Absolutely. And they're able to dominate 75% of the global land mass at one point in time. So what happened is, at different points of time, the human energy got unlocked. So people are able to come out and be it trade, be it shipping, be it war, be it navy expedition, they're able to do it. Now in wars, unfortunately in India, that did not happen for a long time. The energy of our people, such a great land, land of Dharma, crores of people, somebody has to come and unlock that energy. And at different points of time, we can always say that maybe being a country that is under colonization or only supplying raw materials to countries like Britain, that could be one argument. But the other argument is, for a lot of time, our energies were changed. If you look at 1993, I just have some data with you. 1993, just after India's economic liberalization, 2 years after it happened, India's GDP was only 0.29 trillion, which is just $0.29 trillion. Now we are just touching 4 trillion. Just look at the journey. From 1947, it took about 61 years to touch 1 trillion. Now the next 1 trillion is going to come in 4 years. And such a long time, a country of crores of people, different custom, dialects, language, north, south, east, west, the energy was not used for a productive gain. And once the politics got aligned, once the governance got aligned, once people are given that freedom and opportunity to pursue, so that the will that you have inside has to get translated into a product outside. Now it is happening. So I'm very happy that you touched the second part, a land that is given Arthasastra, a land that is given the science of governance, and a land that is given so much to the world. If you look at some of the oldest Indian institutions, which is just rebranding and coming now, the Taxila and the Nalanda. And such a great land is just bouncing back. In the last, the World University, 19th US World University, we are sitting in University of Glasgow, which is on the top there. And India had 43 out of 1,503. Out of 1,503 universities ranked for a certain quality. India had 43. Now you might say it is less. Yes, I say it's less, but 5 years back India had 11. 10 years back India had 2. And you're looking at institutions like Glasgow, which is 600 years old, Oxford, where I am now 1,000 years old, Cambridge. So all great institutions were able to channelize innovation, technology, people. India is just getting there, just starting. And the second argument is, yes, you said, I always say where the future is. There is this very famous quote in ice hockey. Ice hockey, there is a great player called Greg Christie. And somebody asked him, how did you get so many ice hockey goals? He said, I never go where the puck is there. I always go where the puck will go. So, as an ice hockey player, you go to where the puck, the ball, and probably will miss it. But he anticipates where the ball will go. Then he goes there and scores the goal. That's why he has got the most number of goals in ice hockey. The same thing is happening to India. So, you should not look at India where it is now. You should look at where India is going. And where India is going, you can always look at indicators to say, okay, it is just touching 4 trillion, 3.9 trillion, it just touched. And probably the fifth largest economy just over the UK. And next year, India will overtake Germany. It will become the 4th largest economy. The year after, it will overtake Japan. It will become the 3rd largest economy. Then it's a race between US and China and India. So we are just there. And second, if you look at the growth projection, a country that is growing at 7%, probably the fastest growing nation of this size now. Unicorns registered 114, the third in the world. The US is at 865, second is China, third is India. You will not believe, sir, in the last 3 years, the number of startups in India that is registered is 32,000. 32,000 in the last 3 years. And the total startup that is registered now is 110,000. 110,000 startup registered. So these are all numbers that is showing where India is going. I'm not looking at where it is now. So the startup, the product, every 6 minutes in India, there is an IP patent getting registered. Intellectual patent, every 6 minutes there is one patent getting registered. So science are good. Everything is coming together now. Government is coming well, politics is coming well, sense of democracy is sitting well, accountability of politicians, politics, and people, everything is coming together. Also, now the research is taking off, universities are getting better, getting well funded. So I would say from 2 to 11 is a great start. 11 to 43 in the world university rankings is a great start. Probably will reach 100, it's a matter of time. So I would say India is all poised to take off. And merely look at such a, people say, and UK the other day, I was telling, oh, you're just the world's most populous country. Yes, I said yes. And there's nothing to be ashamed of. Yes, we are 142 crore. And there was a time when you say, oh, overpopulation, people look at you in a very different way. So many people. So here you look at countries very small, probably Norway, probably Sweden, Denmark, UK, but very small, doing extraordinarily well for a population of that size. India had this problem, say, 20 years back, people looked at India's population very wrongly, pejoratively. And now I would very gladly say, yes, the median age of that population, which is 142 crore, is 28 years. Even in 2047, the median age will be 37 years. India will be the youngest country in the world. Even at 2047, India will be the youngest country in the world. So what is the potential that this country is having? So everything is coming at the right time. Young people and 380,000 people when they come to the UK, I go, but the school people come back. The next 5 years, and some people will stay here, they will do some work. And when the school people come back, and they're not going to sit quiet at their home, they're going to start something, they're going to get into the service sector, probably get into deep technology, they will do something. And look at the people returning back to the US. Now, reverse brain drain is happening. There was a time when some of the best and the talented, they went out to study, and probably they rightly or wrongly, they chose to stay in a country, which is their fair choice. Now, many of my friends believe My home country, when I go back, it has got all the potential to fulfill my dream. You're getting that confidence. So you can't stop somebody from going to UK. It's wherever the best education is there, they'll come. They find the best education in Glasgow, they come here. Nothing wrong with it. Now, as a country, how are we going to promise our young children sitting here? When you come back, the situation is conducive for you to do well. So now, for the very first time, maybe in my college time, I never had that confidence. I thought probably India's going the other democracy way, corruption and everything. Now, this generation is having that confidence. Yes, if I come back to my country, probably there is an opportunity for me to do well, start a business, make it $1 billion valuation, get into unicorn. So this is an intangible aspect, Professor. Yeah. Tangible aspect, you and me can talk about members, startups, IPOs. That is all tangible, you can measure, but intangible is that confidence. The confidence just doesn't come. Now it's coming. And it's a very young country. Also, it's a restless country. So everybody wants everything to happen tomorrow morning. So that is also nothing wrong because the nature of youth is you got to be ambitious, you got to be idealistic. And the challenge for all of us as politicians, policymakers, people in government is to work faster. Now, no, people don't accept mediocrity now. The youngsters here sitting in this room and Indian youngsters back home, they are accepting mediocrity. They want the best thing, they want down. If you look at India, time taken to start a company, how many days it was, now it has come down, but still our guys want, can I do it in 1 day, can I do it in online? And even for birth certificate, why do you want me to go to a hospital? Can I do it in online? Can you just give me some technology tool, probably an e-governance tool, so that I get it? So it's right. So in a way, this young population is pushing the government also to reform. So sorry for the long answer, but I wanted to touch upon the intangible aspect, the confidence that this guy shared. I'm very excited when all the young, my brothers and sisters who are sitting here, when they come back, I'm very excited for my country. So when they all come back, so much depth of talent and knowledge, exposure in UK, see the world's best practices in Glasgow, Scotland, London, wherever they study. When they come back to our country, and they're going to be extremely smart. And that we are very excited.
I think like that's when we think about Dixit Bharat, like the title of this session is India at 100. And that's inspired by the recent book that Professor Krishnamurthy Subramanian, who is the Executive Director of International Monetary Fund and the former Chief Economic Advisor of the Government of India, has recently come out with. And in fact, his book really talks about these aspirations of India becoming a real economic powerhouse. 55 trillion, that $55 trillion is the estimate that he puts out in terms of how big the Indian economy will be in 2047, which is about 15 times what it was by last year's 3.5 trillion that you hinted at. So yes, all the stand coming in is going to really fuel that ambition. And from a policy standpoint, how are you seeing the aspirations of this younger generation coming in, being reflected in terms of policies that are being currently conceived and envisioned for a Dixit Bharat? Because it's going to be your generation of politicians who are in the 80s kids, the 90s kids, generation of politicians are going to be at a key pole position when it comes to India at 100. So how do you see you different policies leading up to that?
So one thing you have to understand, when we spoke, sir, I mentioned about something called unlocking renewable energy. And such a big country, you can't have 50-60% of the population not having certain needs at their disposal, a house or a toilet, or probably a stable income. So you'll be very surprised. The last 10 years, in India and Bharat alone, 250 million people came out of multi-dimensional poverty. It is 25 crore. So MBA is a very complex economic methodology of calculating, not necessarily the income that you do. It is measuring whether you have a toilet, you have a house, you have a bank account. So it measures the composite index of MBA and says, okay, 250 million, 25 crore, which is 3 times the population of UK, 4 times the population of UK, it came out of poverty in the last 10 years alone. So that is the building base. So this many people have to come up. And this countries are great because a guy born in the Midlands, probably the Highlands of Scotland, should have equal opportunity to a guy who was born in London. That is what makes the Western democracy great. So the quality of school should be same everywhere. I go to a school in Scotland, the primary education should be equivalent, if not better, than probably an urban school. So that is why it doesn't matter where you are born, the country gives you equal opportunity to climb up the ladder. Now in India, of course, it's a problem. A guy who's born in a mountain area, a guy who's born in a certain community, region of our country, probably they don't have the same head start. So this, as a country, we are rectifying now. And India is rectifying because the human potential, wherever you want, the school should go. There is a rule, the primary school should be within 5 kilometers of the place you are born. And there are times when people have to walk. There are some elderly gentlemen sitting here, and they will say, no, I walk 10 kilometers to my school. I walk 15 kilometers to my school. My grandparents walked it. But this generation, you are trying to bring a primary school within 5 kilometers of their place of birth. A primary health center within 5. So the primary focus is on unlocking the human potential. Bring everything. Use technology to solve a social problem. Get the last mile problem corrected. Take roads. So this is one year disadvantage. So I can give you numbers at this point of time. The houses that is spent is 7 crore and 18 crore. Farmers they get more like an insurance of certain money every year. These are all numbers they can give. So that is one side. The second side is creating infra. Technology cannot just evolve on its own. And a person who's flying in should have a good airport to fly. And you should have an ease of travel, immigration, just come out. You should have a good road to travel. The air pollution should be less. You should go do a business and get into the flight and go to the next city. Probably you should have a bullet train or a fast train or a Vande Bharat that is connected between 2 cities. That is the second part we are coming. That is building infra to use the human potential to grow. The first is unlocking the human potential. You create everything so that all 142 crore people's energy you use. The second part is you build an infra so that everybody's energy is channelized. I can't have professor's energy that side, Annamalai's energy this side, and probably his energy this side. On infra or probably a social capital creation will make sure the energy is directed towards one side. So last 10 years, the number of airports in India have doubled. In 2014 it was 73, now it is 151. Universities have literally doubled. The number of medical seats have doubled, which was 43,000, it is more than 1 lakh now. So one end, bullet train is on, which is getting constructed, more number of Vande Bharats. And every major city is getting metro trains, including Chennai, just got the metro train to extension. So what is happening, Professor, is very interesting. This urban infra is becoming so big everywhere. And you are seeing this mass that is coming in. So all of the now coming to the third issue. I believe create the social capital. Give everybody the tools. You should not discriminate anybody. Everybody should have it. And that is the government's primary job. The second, once you have it, parallelly, you create the urban infra. Third, parallelly, now you create the ecosystem for it. Now, this is the third part we are coming. The third part is more about if they start a company without harassment, without bribe. Can they start a company in India? Yes, possibly. It's doable now. Is there a market for them? Yes. India is the biggest market of the world. And third, is there a transaction that is governed by laws of the country? If we have invented something, is there intellectual property protection? Yes. If there is a dispute, can they go to the court and get resolved? Yes. If there is a dispute, can they go to the Labor Commission? Yes. And the third one is very important. America is great because in America there is a sense of fair balance. They say whoever you can be, whatever be the color of your skin, you enter into US soil, and we make sure everybody the same rule of law applies. And India, that is very important. A businessman should have a sense of balance. Suppose no, anybody can steal my secret, and I go to a court, the case will run for 15 years. And somebody stole my money, I go and file an FIR, which will take 7 years for the court to give me a judgment. Means we cannot motivate it. Now the third is the toughest one, Professor. The third one is creating institutions. Because it is NAC 70, 80 years of bad memory. And any of us, you ask anybody in this room, would they happily walk into an Indian court discussion? 90% say no. And if you ask anybody here, will they happily get into an Indian public service center and come out? They say no. Now, this is a collective failure for the last 78 years. That is getting arranged now. I'm very sure with a lot of confidence, the informal chief economic advisor to the Honorable Prime Minister in this book very clearly mentions $55 trillion is possible from the current 3.9 trillion. And to do that, we have to understand it's a leap of faith, Professor. This is the second interesting part I want to come. Because anybody sitting here, a simple mathematical person will know, India has to grow 12.5% from now till 2047 every year to achieve 55 trillion. No country in the human history has achieved it till now. China hasn't achieved. Even the great Roman Empire did not achieve. No country in the world has grown 20 to 23 years, 12.5% every year to meet this target. But I think in India it's possible. If you ask me, it is possible because I told you this. The first 1 trillion took 61 years. The second 1 trillion took 7 years. The third 1 trillion took 3.5 years. The next 1 trillion is going to be 4 years. Because what happens once the base you are able to set it, then the growth is getting amplified and exponential. So I personally believe 28 years is the median age of population so young. Institutional structures are getting created, being the rule of law is there. And more importantly, there's a sense of development. For the last 8 years, India had one prime minister, UK had 6 prime ministers. I'm just giving you something to think about because there's a stability of government. So there's one prime minister, one party, there's a stable democracy, and there is a party of majority government is there. So you can predict the policy. What Modi will do, can predict. What Modi has said in 2014, the same thing is saying in 2024. Growth and growth. In 2040, some vision path. He said in 2014, there's no change. In 2024, he's saying the same thing. So there's a stability. So we have seen 6 prime ministers over the last 10 years. Now, all this I'm very confident will push India into that growth trajectory. And to do that, a lot of hard work is required. A lot of, now we are coming to the tough part. A lot of innovation, a lot of patent filing. And this case, I will come back, artificial intelligence, AGI, neuroscience, biotechnology, lot of things. Having said it, still great countries are great. US, I was reading the top 50, you take the artificial intelligence companies in the world, 32 are based only in San Francisco. So 32 of the top 50 world process going AI, 32 are in San Francisco. US has got 41 in total. China has got 4, and some countries are scattered here and there. India doesn't have even a single one now. That's a challenge. As we say, you have to go where the future is. Yes, we need to have a serious approach to artificial intelligence, be one of the top 50. At the same time, India is doing very well in consumer sectors, in retail, telecom, technology, yes, B2C markets. So this is an area of concern where this kind of kids, when they come back, when they look at business potential and opportunity where they want to go in, I'm sure they will take a huge problem and solve. And solving an easy problem in India is easy problem. And anybody wants to come back tomorrow, start a shop in our country, and they want to do a business, that is doable. Because there's such a big population, you can still be a successful guy. But I hope and pray that people sitting inside this room, they will come to our country in 2 years after they finish their graduation course here and come back and say, okay, let me take a tough one. Give 20 years of my life to. I will not worry what is going to happen to me tomorrow, day after, next month, next year. No. 20 years and give my life. Then one day you create a companies like Alphabet, you will create companies like Tesla. The company has to be crazy enough to take a crazy idea and say, I'm going to give you the mass, I'm going to give you a automated car, I'm going to give you that.